If you want to take the floor,
Set me up there.
yeah, we'll get it going here.
Thank you, Kaylin. I think I want to join that club, maybe.
Yeah.
I put the title here, Success. I think you guys just need to join that club, and now you got it, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like you're going to get you a job, and, you know, who knows what's next. But I am Katie Woodle, and I'm, Kaylin, thank you for inviting me, and thank you to the group. Sounds like you have a good group. I don't remember being a part of a group like this when I was in the MSA program, so good job on that. I love the title, Executive Impact. That's a neat title for your group. I did want to just mention success. It's a lot of miles that you take to get to success, but I'm just going to tell you a few of my miles, where I've come from, what I've done, and tell you a few tips I've learned along the way, and these are like super elementary tips. I mean, really elementary tips, but they really do work. And so, again, just give you a little bit about background. My name is Katie Woodle. I am a certified public accountant in the state of North Carolina. ASU really helped me to gain that status. I did the MSA in accounting here and did the CPA prep. So again, as I said, I'm not going to try to steal MBA students, but you know, it's a good program if you're wondering. I do live in Lenoir at the head and work at the headquarters for Blue Ridge Electric there in Lenoir. And we do have several district offices, one of those being here in Boone. And many of you may receive your power from us. I don't know if you guys, some of you probably get power from New River Light and Power. I'm not sure. Anybody show of hands getting bills from Blue Ridge Electric or New River Light and Power? Okay. And we also are the wholesale supplier for New River Light and Power. So indirectly, one way or the other, you're being served by Blue Ridge Electric. So, just want to tell you a little background about myself. I did grow up in Allegheny County and grew up there on a farm. My dad was a dairy farmer when I was a little kid, and then he found out that dairy farming wasn't going to put food on the table. So he got out of that business and went into land surveying, and but an entrepreneur. So I grew up in that kind of setting where I had parents that were entrepreneurs, and my grandfather was an entrepreneur. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with Allegheny County, but it's about an hour from here. And there was a motel there, Myers Motel, so that was my grandfather's. We had a motel, restaurant, and right off the Blue Ridge Parkway, and he was a really good marketer, and so he did really well with that. But he got out of that and before I was born, and then he got into the trout lake business. And that's, I don't know if you guys have ever gone fishing, and then you catch a trout, and then you get, you know, paid by the pound as to what you catch. Well, he was doing that while I was growing up. And so I would go out there and work with him during the summers and stuff. I mean, little kids, remember. And I would, you know, I love the part about, you know, taking in the money. I really liked weighing the fish and seeing that money come in. So at that young age, I said, you know, I really like this business thing. I really like to see the green come in. I like to count it. I like to see what we made at the end of the day. And so I declared my major in 3rd grade as an accountant. And it actually did stick, so that's kind of a rare thing, but I did do that. And then actually in 7th grade, again, remember I had those entrepreneurs around me. In 7th grade, I opened my own store. And so I had a little craft store. Now, they were terrible crafts. I'm talking about painted rocks, you know, squiggly lines and that kind of thing. Sold a bunch of them because I was cute, and you know, I got out there and really hustled. So, I mean, I even had a storefront. So if you ever are in Laurel Springs in Allegheny County, there's a little storefront there that used to be my little store when I was in 7th grade. I did not pay taxes, so I don't know if that's but anyway, so started at a young age in this path towards accounting and business, and then in high school, did graduate from Allegheny High School, but during that time I said, you know, I really want to learn more and see if this is truly the career path that I want to go down, because I'm driven. I want to, you know, get there in 4 years in college, so I want to make sure this is the right path. So I had a counselor that helped me to take an internship with Allegheny Memorial Hospital in my junior year of high school. So they placed me there, and I got to do all the grunt work, you know, but mainly I was in accounts payable. And also, you know, on the weekend, I started as an intern, and then they said, hey, you know, you're willing to do anything. So they said, you want a summer job? So I started working summertime, and then did part-time work until I got more hours. And so I would do any hours that they, provided to me. So through junior and senior year, I was working at the hospital, again, doing anything, spreadsheets, whatever, accounts payable. And then when I came on to Appalachian State in 2001, I started here at ASU and continued to work at the hospital part-time because, I don't know about you guys, but some of you are able probably to get Fridays off from class. That's the great thing about College of Business. Or it was when I was here. And so I would be off on Fridays, but I would go back to Allegheny, back home, and work at the hospital and some weekends as well. So that was a great experience. And down and in, I was learning the debits and credits from a book here and then seeing it in action in the hospital. So that was a really good experience for me. And then, so I did graduate with my undergrad in 2005 here at ASU, and then I went straight into the MSA program, and that worked out really well for me because I can't imagine now going back. So anyway, 2006 I did get my Master's of Science in Accounting. I did start out going towards Ernst & Young, public accounting. I was going to the Big Four. I was going to get my 3 years experience, get into industry. I was really driven. And the CFO position at the hospital came available. Now, I was 22 years old and thought, there's no way that I'm going to get this job. But I'm going to, I had a lot of people that were saying, you need to go out there and try for it. Because I knew I'm a mountain girl, I love four-wheeling, hunting, the whole deal. And I wanted to be here in the long run. But I didn't know how I was going to get back. As you know, some of this area, it's harder to get jobs. So I did go ahead and apply. And in 2006, I became the Chief Financial Officer of Allegheny Memorial Hospital. So one lesson, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, nothing's impossible. I thought that was probably impossible. Very little to no management experience, and did get that position. And so stayed there until 2012 and got a lot of great experience and loved it there and still love Allegheny Memorial. But I did see that, I was still looking for that path to greater, bigger, and better things. And so I was asked to join the Community Leaders Council for Blue Ridge Electric as the CFO at the hospital. And I knew a little bit about Blue Ridge Electric. I knew that they were, good community stewards, but I had no idea what all, the vastness of the organization. So joined that group, learned a lot about Blue Ridge, and networked. You heard him say network, network, network. It is so true. I networked with the folks there, and they got to know me, and I got to know them. And in 2012, their CFO, 70 years old, decided he was going to retire. And so one of the smartest men I've ever met in my life. And so when he decided to retire, they started the recruitment process. They knew me, and I knew them, and I applied and went through a very rigorous process there of interview and got the position of Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of Blue Ridge Electric. And so, I went from a $14 million in revenue hospital a year to, $140 million in revenue. So you can do it. There's a great path out there for you, I'm sure, and so don't ever let yourself think that, you can't do something. And so within this position, we do have balance sheets about $356 million just at electric. We serve about 75,000 meters, electric meters throughout. Like I said, we have 4 districts: Ashe, Allegheny, Watauga here in Boone, and Caldwell. And then we also have 2 for-profit subsidiaries: Blue Ridge Energies, LLC, which is our heating fuels business. The biggest product there is propane, and so I encourage you, if you live in this area, to buy your propane from Blue Ridge Energies. That's my plug. RidgeLink is our second subsidiary, again a for-profit subsidiary, and we do dark fiber, so it's an interesting company, a lot of fun to learn about. But we don't take fiber or internet to the home, but we supply the fiber lines for companies that do. And to businesses, mainly hospitals, educational institutions, things like that. So it's a great thing that Blue Ridge Electric is also a part of. So let me just tell you a few things. I took a crooked path. It wasn't exactly, I was going to EY, like I said, had it all mapped out, and it took away a lot of terms. So I want to just tell you a few, and I told you at the beginning, it's going to be elementary, a few real elementary things that I've learned along the way. What the professor said a minute ago, networking, so true. And within that networking, be nice. I'm not talking about fake nice, you know, hey, my name's Katie. I mean, I'm talking about truly care about people. If you have a heart for people, it will show. I will guarantee you, people will notice that, and they will say, I would like to work with that individual. You know, I met Doug Johnson, who is our CEO, on a golf course, and he said, you know, you're the CFO, what? You know, again, 22 years old, young, in fact, made the real good decision to get braces about that time. So, head full of metal, and 22 years old, and the CFO of a hospital, going to regional meetings with mostly men, you know, of other hospital CFOs in their 50s. So, so again, be nice, recognize you never know who you're about to encounter, so just keep that in mind. And then attitude is everything. You see posters about this, I think there's one with a mountain or something about, you know, attitude is everything, can you climb the mountain? It's really true. You know, it is what you make of it, but it truly is. You know, we can teach a lot of skills if you're going to a job interview. Obviously, you're at the best university in the United States, in my opinion. So, your resume is good. You've got, you know, that going for you. So, if you go in with that and you have the right attitude, it's going to take you places. And again, remember that you can learn from anyone. Don't think that, you know, you can learn from any level in the organization, from the intern that's filing paperwork to the CEO of the organization. I like to tell a story. When I was at the hospital, I would stay late. I'm an accountant. We stay late. But I would be there late, you know, and a lot of times I was the only one there when the housekeeper would come by and work on our offices. And so housekeeper Ann, who's one of my favorite people I've ever met, she would, you know, at least once a week come down and say, how's it going, and just plop down in one of my chairs. You know, I'm like, I'm trying to get my thing done. But, you know, and so we'd have this great conversation. I knew all about her family. I knew, you know, all these different things. But what was really interesting, and this is something I learned, is I really cared about her. And she saw that, and she would tell me things, I'm telling you guys, that nobody knew was going on in that hospital. You know, you might want to check on nurse so-and-so. I don't think she's charging things. So just keep that in mind. I mean, it shouldn't be your ulterior motive to be